Have you ever felt like the whole world is shouting instructions at you, telling you how to live your life, but deep down none of it really clicks? Everyone has an opinion, but no one truly understands what's best for you. It feels overwhelming, doesn't it? Like you're being pulled in 100 different directions and yet somehow you still feel lost. But what if just for a moment you stepped away from the noise? What if solitude, the very thing you've been avoiding, is actually the key to finding peace and reconnecting with Allah? Allah! I know what you're thinking. Doesn't everyone say isolation is bad? Yes, they do. But here's the truth. They're only half right. Solitude, when used wisely, isn't about loneliness or running away from life. It's about stepping back to reflect, to breathe, and to truly listen to your heart, to your soul, and to Allah's guidance. If you're here just for a few quick tips and then plan to move on, I'll be honest, this video isn't for you. But if you're ready for a shift, for something deeper that could genuinely transform your life, then take a deep breath, put everything aside, and give this your full attention. Watch until the very end, because the right word might hit you in ways you never expected. And trust me, this isn't something you want to miss. And before we dive in, comment Allahu Akbar below to show your support and help spread this message to others. Now, let's begin. First reason of your isolation is that solitude helps you reconnect with yourself. In the rush of daily life, school, work, social media, it's so easy to lose track of who you truly are. You wake up, follow a routine, and go to bed feeling exhausted, but deep inside you know something's missing. People constantly tell you what you should be doing, who you should be, and how you should think. And before you know it, you can't even recognize your own desires, your own purpose. But when you embrace solitude, something changes. The noise fades, and for the first time in a long time, you hear your own thoughts. It's like taking a deep breath after being underwater for too long. In those quiet moments, you can finally ask yourself, what do I truly want? What really matters to me? And more importantly, am I living my life the way Allah intended? The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, sought solitude in the cave of Hira, reflecting deeply before receiving divine revelation. Solitude is not a sign of weakness, but an opportunity for self-discovery and spiritual awakening. Second reason of your isolation is that solitude clears the clutter in your mind. Have you ever felt like your mind is a messy, overcrowded room? Between deadlines, responsibilities, and the pressure to meet expectations, it's almost impossible to focus on what truly matters. It's like trying to pray in a place full of distractions. Your heart just isn't there. But the moment you step away from the noise, a shift happens. The chaos quiets down, the thoughts that once raced through your mind slow down, and for the first time, clarity begins to emerge. You start to understand your priorities. You recognize what's truly important and what's just unnecessary stress. It's in this stillness that you find the space to listen to your heart, to your purpose, and most importantly, to Allah's guidance. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Surah Al-Baqarah 13:28. When the world is silent, you can finally hear what He's been trying to tell you all along. Embrace solitude as a gift, for it allows you to detach from worldly distractions and strengthen your connection with your Creator. Third reason of your isolation is that it is a hidden blessing. Let's be real, feeling isolated isn't easy, it's uncomfortable. It makes you question yourself. Why are people drifting away? Why do I feel like I don't belong anywhere? It's frustrating and lonely. But what if, just maybe, Allah is protecting you in these moments? Sometimes the greatest blessings in life come disguised as trials. When you're constantly surrounded by people, it's easy to be influenced, to lose sight of your values, and to become distracted from your spiritual path. But when you're alone, you have the chance to realign with your faith, to focus on what truly matters, and to seek the closeness of Allah without external noise clouding your heart. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, removes people and distractions from our lives for a reason. Maybe He is clearing the path for you to grow in ways you never imagined. The Quran reminds us, But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you know not. What if this isolation isn't a punishment, but a form of divine protection? What if Allah is keeping you away from influences that may harm your soul so that you can grow spiritually, reflect deeply, and come back stronger in faith and purpose? Fourth reason of your isolation is that solitude is a test of patience and strength. Being alone isn't always easy. Sometimes it can feel like time is moving too slowly, and the silence becomes overwhelming. You may find yourself feeling restless, longing for company, or even questioning why you have to endure this phase. But here's the truth. This is a test, and like all tests, it's meant to make you stronger, to elevate you in rank, and to purify your soul. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever is patient, Allah will give him patience. And no one is given a better and more abundant gift than patience." This phase in your life isn't about suffering, it's about growing. It's about learning to trust in Allah's plan, even when you don't fully understand it. It's about surrendering your worries and fears to Him, knowing that He never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about how you wait. Do you remain steadfast in faith, or do you let doubts consume you? Do you fill your solitude with remembrance of Allah, or do you let negativity take over? When you embrace solitude with patience, you're not just enduring a trial, you're building spiritual resilience, strengthening your connection with Allah, and preparing yourself for the blessings that are yet to come. Fifth reason of your isolation is that it is the best time for reflection and self-improvement. When was the last time you took a step back and asked yourself, am I living in a way that will please Allah? If today was my last day, am I truly ready to meet Him? These are questions that many of us avoid because they require deep introspection and accountability, but solitude is the perfect time to ask them. Most of the time, we're too caught up in the busyness of life to even think about these questions. We're constantly moving, distracted by worldly affairs, chasing success, validation, and temporary happiness. But when you're alone, away from distractions, you have the opportunity to reflect deeply on your actions, your intentions, and your journey. It is in these quiet moments that you can recognize your mistakes, seek forgiveness, and make a sincere effort to change. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The wise person is the one who takes account of themselves and works for what comes after death, and the incapable one is the one who follows their desires and then expects Allah to grant them their wishes." Tirmidhi imagine standing before Allah on the Day of Judgment. Every moment, every choice, every wasted second will be laid out in front of you. How will you answer for the way you spent your time? Solitude is a gift. It grants you the chance to make changes before it's too late. It allows you to realign with your faith, to renew your intentions, and to cultivate a lifestyle that will bring you closer to Allah. This time alone is not an emptiness. It is an opportunity to fill yourself with remembrance of Allah, with self-improvement, and with preparation for a future that aligns with your purpose. Embrace it, use it wisely, and let it transform you into the person Allah created you to be. Islam teaches us the importance of unity, the strength that comes from standing together as a community, supporting and uplifting one another. But it also emphasizes the profound value of personal reflection. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, often withdrew into solitude, retreating to the cave of Hira to seek closeness to Allah, to listen to the whispers of his own soul, and to find the clarity he needed before returning to guide the people. Solitude isn't about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about rediscovering yourself in the presence of Allah. It's about stepping away from the noise, the expectations, and the distractions to hear the voice of your own heart. When you return from this sacred space of self-reflection, you are stronger, clearer, and more spiritually aligned. You carry a light within you, a peace that radiates to those around you. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And hold fast, all of you together, to the rope of Allah, and do not be divided." This verse speaks of unity, of standing together as an unshakable force. But how can we truly unite if we are disconnected from ourselves? How can we be there for others if we are spiritually exhausted? Unity is essential, but so is nurturing your personal connection with Allah. Your time alone, spent in prayer, reflection, and deep contemplation, is not time wasted. It is time invested in your soul. My dear brothers and sisters, solitude is not a curse. It is a divine invitation. It is a chance to pause, to breathe, to reflect, and to realign your heart with your Creator. When the world pulls you in every direction, when life overwhelms you with its demands, these quiet moments alone become your refuge, a place where you can rekindle your faith and find the strength to keep going. Imagine standing before Allah on the Day of Judgment. In that moment, nothing will matter but your relationship with Him. Every moment you spent in solitude, seeking His guidance, pouring your heart out in dua, and reflecting on your purpose will count towards your eternal journey. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to comment Allahu Akbar below. Let's flood this space with praise for Allah, inspiring others to reflect and embrace solitude as the blessing that it truly is. Let's remind each other that being alone with Allah is never loneliness. It is the most fulfilling companionship we can ever experience. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Together we can keep sharing reminders that bring us closer to Allah, that touch hearts, and that awaken souls. May Allah guide you, protect your heart, and keep you steadfast on this journey. May He grant you clarity in solitude, strength in unity, and peace that fills every corner of your soul. Ameen.